Welcome to the Startup of the Year podcast, where each episode we showcase exciting new companies from around the world. This podcast is produced by Established, creators of the Startup of the Year program. Established is focused on helping organizations with their innovation, startup, and communication strategies. Thank you to our podcast sponsor, Silicon Valley Bank.
And we are live in downtown Las Vegas. We are in a tiny house. I'm Frank Gruber. It's a Startup of the Year podcast, and it's CES week. And there's lots of startups here from the Startup of the Year program, and we're here going to talk about them. So I've got a great group of hosts here today. Besides myself, we're here with Rich Maloy from the Established team. We've got Lori Thiel from the Established team, and we've got Eric Matthews, who comes out from Memphis. He's actually the founder and CEO of Startco. And so we've got a special guest. Thanks for coming out all the way from Memphis to be in our tiny house today.
It's great to be here. This is my first tiny house experience, and it's been lovely.
So I wish I could paint the picture here. We are all crouched around recording, knees touching, recording device, because we are literally in a tiny house in the Airstream Village, downtown Las Vegas. So for those of you who don't know, there's a place called the Ferguson, and the CEO of Zappos, Tony Hsieh, has an Airstream Village here, and it's part of the downtown project and some of the things that they were doing. So we were able to get a couple of those for the Established team, and we're now recording live from them. Well, not really live because this is a podcast, so I guess I'm lying in some ways. It's not live, but we're recording live. You'll hear it not live and follow it along. So anyway, we're going to dive right in. It's CES week. Let's quickly kind of talk about what we've been doing at CES. Anybody want to share any kind of insights, thoughts? First time CES experience, Rich.
Yeah, hey, this is Rich Maloy. This is it was my first time at CES. It was incredibly overwhelming. I probably saw maybe 10% of the show, maybe 15%.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You're ambitious.
Yeah. Okay, all right, maybe 1%. I don't know. I spent most of my time in Eureka Park. Naturally, this is startups. We're in the startup world. I just really want to see the startups. But I did walk around. Of course, walked around the gaming section and saw some VR. And there was a cool party here at Airstream Park last night, and I got in a crazy VR 360-degree motion VR machine. I did a couple backflips and forward flips in it, and it was pretty intense. Yeah.
Have you've been to?
Yeah. So this is my second CES, and so I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. The first time it's a little overwhelming, like going to South by and kind of get your legs underneath you. Yeah. But this time, very tactical in my approach, and really working Eureka Park. It's really just a full contact sport, and I just go booth to booth, trying to find great startups that fit our investment thesis in Memphis. So that's it's been a good one.
That's coming up soon. You got the
we got applications open. We're invested in agricultural technology, logistics technology, medical devices, home services technology as well, and so that's through our partner programs and the programs that we run in Memphis. So always on the hunt for great quality startups.
He's hunting startups at CES. Yep. Doing the rounds. Okay, Lori, what are your thoughts? You've been to CES for many different times, different types of products and things from the AOL days to now. So tell us, what do you think now?
It is not my first rodeo. I look for the padded carpet everywhere I can possibly get. I know what shoes to pack, how to carry. Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, back, I think, 95, 96 could have been my first time at CES, and it was only at the convention center. And now it's pretty much all of Vegas is technology for this week. And so it is overwhelming, but at the same time, pretty exciting to know that all that innovation could create, go and create jobs and just become a new part of your world. So it's very cool.
And brand everywhere, from you've got the train going around, it's got like branding for Hey Google to pretty much everything's branded. Indiegogo's everywhere. Arrow came out of the woodwork this time and is partnered with Indiegogo, and you see that everywhere. I'm trying to think of other brands, activations you've seen everywhere. There's a lot.
Amazon.
Yeah. Amazon. Oh, Amazon. Yes.
Tons of places. Dell.
Intel. Did anybody else get a banana?
No.
Okay, that's awkward. Did anybody else? There was a banana stand.
I got a picture of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You got a picture. Oh, you met a football player. I saw there's a banana stand that Amazon put up, and it's literally ask how much potassium is in a banana, and you're supposed to ask Alexa. I didn't do that, but I just grabbed a banana and ran. I don't know. Were they free? I don't know. I don't know. So I had a banana. But then I was walking around with a banana, and what do you do you're at CES. What are you going to do? So I wasn't hungry. We just ate. So I was walking around with a banana for a while trying to pawn it off to somebody. Didn't quite work out. So anyway, that's my banana stand story. All right, so let's get to it. I don't know where we go from there.
I was gonna say, the one thing I did see that I won't be able to get, but it's on my wish list, is the Lamborghini massage chair. There was a Lamborghini.
Like the brand is Lamborghini.
Yes, Lamborghini car was there, and it was flanked by 2 massage chairs that are designed and branded by Lamborghini. And I wanted so desperately to have that experience, or just to know what that was about. So that is on my wish list.
It literally is the Lamborghini of massage chairs. Wow.
Oh, Frank, you're so
That's pretty clever of them.
you never know what you're going to see. And I was like, well,
No, you're right.
cool.
You're right. And I mean, I haven't gone to the big floor yet. Have you guys? Did you go to the big floor yet? Or you not?
I
haven't ventured.
Yeah,
It's an adventure to even get there.
I mean, there's like 9 major locations for this that are the sanctioned locations, and they have all the offsite stuff that's occurring here. You really, literally, as Rich said, you can't cover it at all. I mean, you just got to decide where you want to be and just go for it. So.
Right.
But that's where most of the padded carpet is at. Is the main convention. That's the big brands. They got the padded carpet.
No, and those are some of those are huge, right?
Yeah.
Big.
I went to the South Hall of the convention center, not even realizing that wasn't the main floor of like the main floor. So I was at an offshoot of the main thing, and even that was intense and overwhelming.
I'm gonna try to get there tomorrow. We'll see. See if I can see some big brands and huge TVs, and I want to see if there's a yacht here this year, which is kind of interesting. I've never seen a yacht at it's kind of decked out as electric yacht, so that's kind of cool. So anyway, let's dive into startups. We're going all over here. Let's go to startups. We've got some startups that were part of the Startup Year program that we want to talk about. There's 4 of us, so there's 4 companies today we're going to talk about. We're each going to take one, kind of talk about what they're up to, get a few updates, and then go from there. We never decided who's going first, so do you want me to go first? Or do you guys who wants to jump in? You can vote. It's a democracy. Okay. Eric. Wow. The new guy gets. Sorry, Eric. Welcome. All right. So Eric's going to talk about Bowie Labs. Our guest. Throw him right to the wolves immediately. So Bowie Labs is out of Santa Cruz, and they were part of this last year's Startup Year program, women-led company. And do you want to just share what they're up to?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I did meet them actually at the Start of the Year conference in Boston. Great company during office hours. That was, thanks for getting that going for all of us. Mm-hmm. And because we're looking at home services technology, quite relevant to what we're looking at in Memphis. But good to see them on the floor there today. Basically they have a technology that analyzes water flow real time on a house. Mm-hmm. And, I was just looking at some of the stats. 1 trillion gallons of water is wasted from in-home leaks, which is about 10% of the water needed to solve the drought in California. It's just a huge problem. Mm-hmm. And when you think about it, you also think about the other costs. If you have undiscovered leaks in your house causing damage, somebody leaves the hose on, and water is going to become more and more scarce. We're not getting more clean water in the world, and so it's just a super critical thing. And so this system automatically monitors it, can automatically shut it off if there is issues, sends you alerts, connects into your home Wi-Fi systems, etc. And so it's great to see that team out here. They've been actually a CES Innovation Award winner.
Oh, this year they were?
They were last year, but also Fast Company named them one of the world-changing ideas. One of the finalists for that. Edison Design Award. So I just have a lot of just view them as a really strong startup and someone to watch definitely moving forward.
Cool.
And I just learned today this is their 3rd or 4th startup. Their last startup had a successful exit, so these guys know what they're doing. So I think they're definitely going down the right path, and they are super excited about this year. As I had happened to also say hi to them today. So.
Oh, you saw them? Great.
Yes. Yep.
Awesome. Stop by. Good.
Yes.
I didn't get a chance to see them today, but I do like them, and I remember them from the conference and everything. So I love the fact that they're here and continue to show off their stuff. So
I like to tell the story, and part of her story was that she really didn't want to in Santa Cruz have to keep going over to Silicon Valley and find a way to be closer at home, and part of it started with the fact that she got a bill for $1,700 because there was a leak. And she's like, that's not going to happen anymore. Mm-hmm. And she wanted to be able to take long showers and really enjoy a nice long shower. So she decided that we've got to figure out a way to make that happen, and that's kind of how Bowie was born.
She scratched her own itch. I love it. That's a lot of the best startups do that. And speaking of water, you have a tiny house water situation here. You've got a nice little shower. How's that been?
Well, the thing with the tiny house is that everything is tiny.
How tall are you again? Let's just go with that. Start with there.
Let's start up 6 foot. Right. So
you seem taller than that.
It's my presence. It's the ambiance and the lift shoes. Right. But no, so the thing with the tiny house is the shower is tiny, and so is the hot water heater. And
So how tiny are we talking?
We're talking like, you know how cold showers are a thing?
I like cold showers.
Well, you're welcome to come here and take a cold shower.
Sounds like magnificent place to shower. This is great. Oh, wow. Okay, good to know. So
I will say this, despite once you know that you have a limited amount of time in the shower, you just balance it out a little bit. It's not like, you crank it all the way to hot and you wait for the hot water to come and then you pull it back. It's like, no, it's hot right away because there's about a foot of pipe between the hot water heater and the shower. And then you jump in, you get your business done, and then you're out, right?
I mean, it kind of is in some ways a lot like Bowie Labs. You're saving a lot of water. It does kind of go that same mission. Not exactly the same, but you see where I'm going with that. All right, who's next?
Lori.
Sure.
Lori. Who are we talking about today? We're talking about Bartesian, and they are outside of Ontario, Canada. Eh?
Hey, yes, actually saw Ryan, got a big hug. We met. Yeah.
Big hugs? I didn't even know.
Yeah, well, we had Ryan at our startup night last year as a fast pitch competitor, and he was one of our top two that got to go fast track to our Innovate Celebrate event. And he's happy as a clam, doing well, just signed a deal with Hamilton Beach.
Oh, cool.
And also going to be able to...
What do they do again?
Oh,
Quick.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, quick version.
You get to, it's a machine that quickly makes your cocktail. So what's better than having that happen?
Magic.
I know one of the
That's
best
what I call
things
that.
for me was when you hire a bartender to party, your life is so much better. So
Right.
this is like the next best thing.
So you literally have a robot doing it.
Yeah, and they make it's good drinks. I mean, it serves a nice drink. So, sorry, I lost train of thought.
That's okay.
Long day.
First off, consume responsibly. This is not telling you to go have several cocktails, but it is an interesting product.
So he's super excited because the next step is to finally get it out there. And so Bed Bath & Beyond is going to be the first one to
great.
distribute it for
That's
them.
huge.
And it's been about 4 years in the making, and also signed a huge deal with one of the largest distributors, or third largest distributor. And he's doing well, and has a co-founder that we haven't got to meet because Ryan's kind of the face
out
of
there,
it right now. But
how they balance it.
yeah,
Their co-founder's back making it all happen. Right? Like usually how it works. But I don't know if that's true.
They continue to execute well and make the right decisions, and I think we're going to all be probably having one at our next party that will make life a lot easier.
Right.
So
That's really cool. Partnerships are huge, obviously, and obviously getting the distribution through Bed Bath & Beyond, and I think they had some other things going that way as well. So
This is exactly the right place for those types of discussions. I mean, you're at the Consumer Electronics Show. You're supposed to be meeting with these major players, and I know some of the founders that we've invested in. They're definitely making it happen, taking meetings, et cetera, et cetera. So no surprise here.
Maybe something new soon. Who knows?
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. All right, great. What do we got, Rich? What's next? We've got Lifina, that's right. Like, wait, was that what it was? No, it's Lifina, yeah. So tell me a little bit more about Lifina. They are coming from France.
Yep. So Lifina is short for Life in a Box. And the idea is that 5% of the world's population are prisoners to their medication. And so if you have multiple sclerosis, if you have diabetes, you need to take medication on a regular basis. You cannot travel because your medication needs to be refrigerated between 2 and 8 degrees Celsius at all times. And so I'm going to steal Lori's thunder because I'm going to tell the story. Sorry, Lori's our color commentator for the podcast.
Go for it.
It started when the founder, who lives in Paris, his brother came to visit him, and the hotel, his brother didn't speak French, and the hotel froze his diabetes medication, his insulin, froze it, destroyed it. He nearly died because he needed insulin, and thankfully they could get some in the middle of the night, and everything was okay. But the founder also has a medical device manufacturing company, and he's an engineer, and so he was able to manufacture a mini refrigerator that it can charge and hold a charge and keep his insulin cold, and you don't have to rely on a dumb hotel clerk to kill you. So he built this for his brother, and all of a sudden it was this amazing idea where people can now travel with their medications, not have to worry about it, keep it safe, don't have to worry about what temperature it's at, whether it's too hot or too cold. And so this is literally life in a box. And he has won multiple awards at including Best in Show at the Web Summit in Lisbon. He was a top finalist for us at Startup of the Year. Has won design awards and recently won another French design award, I believe. That was at his booth. I can't remember what that was, but it's an amazing product. Anybody that has medications that they need to carry, or if you know anybody that has medications that they need to bring with them, definitely check out Lifeina box LIFEINA.com and go check it out and get a great gift for somebody that will free them from their being held to their medication.
No, I love them at our conference. They is really, I mean, obviously that story is really powerful, and they did a great job pitching. So I remember them. Obviously, there were 100 companies that out in Boston. That was one that really stuck out. So definitely loved what they were doing, and I think he said they were doing additional sizes and things for different types of medication, or kind of trying to mix it up a little bit because they had one kind of style and they've got multiple, and he's got, I think, multiple patents and things on it. So pretty cool. They're moving quite a ways ahead here. And anyone else have anything to say about Lifeina? Oh, we stole Lori's thunder. Sorry.
Really nice founder.
Really nice founder. All right. Thank you, Lori.
Can I give a footnote to Bartesian?
Sure.
So I just
Bartesian.
Yes, Bartesian. I forgot to mention that Ryan's actually going to be heading to Chicago soon.
Oh.
To stay close to the Wisconsin plant where they're going to start making the capsules that will go into the machine.
Oh, so he's moving.
He's going to be in Chicago to stay close to make sure that the process of he's very, very he wants to make sure that the quality of that product is the best it can be. He doesn't want any high fructose corn syrup. He wants that to be the purest ingredients in those capsules. So I think that says a lot about the passion and the follow through of making sure your product, your quality of product, is the best it can be, so that you have success, and that's what it takes. So he's going to be going to
Sweet home
Chicago, and I just thought that was a fun note for our founder.
I love Chicago. That's great.
Frank.
I'm wondering if he's timing it up with summer, because that sounds like a great plan. But anyway, that's awesome, and it sounds very much like it's a Keurig model. So obviously they could meet somebody like that, and it could be huge, bigger than it is already. Last but not least, we've got kind of a throwback company that we had actually. So we did a pitch competition today, working with CTA Foundation and Aarp Innovation Labs. And we had a bunch of companies pitch, and it was really a lot of fun. We had Damon John from the Shark Tank. He was the MC, and he shared some great insights and dad jokes, which I appreciated. And we had, one of our past companies from Startup of the Year, GoSun, pitch at that event, and got a little bit of an update from what they're doing. And anyway, GoSun is it's a solar powered cook stove. So you think about like a grill kind of thing, but you put all your food in there, and then it just uses solar to cook your food. So they've been out for a little while, and they were a top 5 company 2 years ago at our Startup of the Year finals, and then they've won innovation awards through at CES, and they've continued to kind of rack up the wins. They've done really successful Kickstarters and those types of crowdfunding campaigns, Indiegogo, and anyway. Long story short, they have a new product out. It's called Fusion. It allows you to not just cook when you have solar power, but also has a bit of a battery built in. So it allows you to cook at nighttime and not worry about just solar. So that's coming out. I think it's around $400 for the product. And it seems like they're continuing along the path of, they do a great job with what they're doing. And the design of it and everything is really innovative. And seems like they're continuing to kind of push ahead. So it was great to see their founder today and kind of get an update. I don't know. Did you guys get a chance to talk to Patrick Sherwin? He's from Cincinnati. Okay, he's a great guy. I loved his red red jacket today, which kind of ties in with their colors of GoSun. So really interesting stuff. And he's kind of sharing some insights. He's got a lot of ideas as well. He's a total entrepreneur. He had other ideas about how he can do different things with GoSun and both at the local level as well as more products. And they've got a lot of different products out there. So
one of the coolest things about GoSun is that they're taking to third world countries the product because of the fact that you can slowly cook in it. And so they're actually being able to make birthday cakes and do baking that they didn't get to do before because of obviously that they didn't have that technology before. So I think there's just some really sweet, cool stories that are coming out of GoSun as well. And he's one of his favorite parts of it as well.
Right.
Yeah, that piece of the third world country is super important because it also reduces the carcinogens and the smoke that's inhaled. And so if you're cooking over a wood stove or a charcoal in a third world country, you don't have the proper ventilation in your home or wherever you may be. You're cutting down forests to come and bring it in, and so it's just a completely renewable source of energy, and you're able to save lives and cook food.
Yeah, I love that, and not just in third world countries. First world countries should probably worry about that as well. But it does maybe change the way barbecue. You know a thing about barbecue. Wait a minute, Memphis. They're known. Do they use what do they do? How do they do it down there?
Well, the traditional way is certainly with wood, smoke, charcoal, that sort of stuff.
So that's not good for us. Is
I think the tradition will endure in Memphis. Although new innovations are introduced at the World Championship of Barbecue in grilling and things along those lines. So actually, maybe we should invite them to come down for. We have a startup experience called Start Q.
Oh, cool.
They should probably come on down for that too. So
that's a great idea, actually. Then start getting that out there. But like you said, you don't think about cooking on a grill and thinking, oh, it can make like cake or like actual baking, but you can. So that you can do a lot more than just make like barbecue or whatever. So it's kind of cool.
Well, that's what's important about the fusion component of that, because when you don't have sun, then what are you going to cook with?
Right.
And so having that additional power source available to you is really kind of a true enabler for the emerging market, developing world.
Emerging markets, rainy markets, darkness, all those things. So it seems like they're going the right direction with that. So excited to see GoSun and the way they continue to evolve and innovate. All right. So any other thoughts about any companies we saw, CES? Parting words of wisdom.
There were some amazing startups that we saw out there on the floor, and so we're looking forward to seeing them in Startup of the Year 2019 and beyond. But yeah, a lot of great startups that we can't wait to share with you on the podcast going forward.
Great. Anything else?
I really appreciate all the universities that come out and those really early. I'm just super excited, still just beaming and wanting to be a part of everything they possibly can. And let me tell you about my product. And so I really appreciate the university section, I think, especially because they're just right there, ripe for the picking. And so I enjoy that. And just a note to founders, I think Patrick's been pitching for now 3 or 4 years. And even today, before he went up on stage, he said to me, I'm a little nervous. I'm like, you got this. So it's just an important note that, it's always, everything matters, and it's important that it still mattered to him. And I really appreciate that he was honest and just wanted to kind of shake that off. And I was proud to see our alumni up there doing well. Right. So. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the other thing to note is the corporations participating in Eureka Park is becoming a bigger and bigger focus of that, and the corporate connection certainly is relevant to established as well as what we're trying to accomplish certainly at the accelerator level. So it was great to see a lot of that activity at CES and Eureka Park this year.
Yeah. Eureka Park is huge. It wasn't like that a few years ago. I think that was CES back in the day. So really amazing to see the growth of it and each segment. I mean, lots of countries involved. We had the French tech section and all these different sections, and then obviously all the different Norway, Israel, Switzerland, name it, they were there. And then not like you said, there's a whole university section. So really amazed by the continued growth of the that obviously the startup sector. We've been saying that for years, but now to see them all kind of coming out and sharing in one place is interesting. And I mean, the enthusiasm is there, but it's funny, like you said, Patrick, he's been doing this for a while, and it's okay to get the kind of butterflies even at that level because he's been doing this for so long, but it actually means that he's really in it. He's still got it, and if he didn't care, he wouldn't care. Wouldn't have the butterflies, and it wouldn't be something that he's nervous about. So I think he did a great job, and obviously didn't win today, but he'll come back. Right, exactly. So he's in good shape. So anyway, Frank Gruber here. We are, like I said before, in a tiny house. It's getting very warm. Yeah. I don't know how else to explain it. We're still knee to knee. We did a great podcast here. And any parting thoughts about your tiny house experience before we sign off on our Startup of the Year podcast?
Careful of Marley because he's looking for food. Sorry, Marley.
Marley's a llama.
Marley is the llama.
Or alpaca, actually.
Alpaca.
Yeah.
Beautiful alpaca that roams the village to help you feel comfortable, greets you, and then doesn't leave you alone.
I think he just likes food or hugs. I don't know. Not really sure. Or carrots. Anyway, signing off, Frank Gruber, Rich Maloy, Lori Thiel, Eric Matthews. Thank you all for being part of this podcast. And we'll be back soon. Make sure you subscribe. We'll be sharing that information soon.
Thanks for listening to the Startup of the Year podcast. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll be back with another episode soon.